Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me an honor and a privilege. This young man, he's back with us for the month of February. OMG, are you ready? I hope you guys got this. He's an awesome father, great husband. I always say he's one of the two guys. What I mean by that, whenever they want to give it something or train, he does a great phenomenal. Sits down and give us a fireside chat. Office out in the backyard, and then sometimes he joins us on wink, 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 and he has he's lucky. He likes that red stripe. He can expand so well. He's the Platinum Regional Vice President with our company. He lives in Southern California. He's expanding his business countries. His daughter, I got a chance to put his daughter at one of our international getaways that ACN takes care of the leaders. And my dear friend, and if you don't know him, with him, the great Mr. Platinum Regional Vice President, Tarrolly.
Mr. T, man, are we back at this again? Are we doing this again? Oh man, he keeps freezing up. Hey, Julian, is Al's internet good? Is it me? Am I choppy or can y'all hear me okay? Okay, cool. Yeah, hey, so Al, I'm just asking, are we doing this again? We're doing this again? We are doing this month again. Is that right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Julian, guess what? You get to answer for Mr. Thomas. Are we doing this again? Well, you got to unmute yourself too, man. I'm trying
yes, sir. We're doing this again.
Well, look, you guys, here's the deal. We are doing this again. Okay, cool. Well, I got some stuff to share with you, and here's what's funny, right? So y'all should know I've known Al for a long time, and I have a lot of respect for Mr. Thomas and the way he's built his business and what he brings to the company, how he represents the company, how he represents all of you. And over the course of the month that we're going to be together, we're going to have some fun. I'm going to share some stuff with you that I hope will help you build your businesses to the degree that you want to build it. My goal by the end of this month is to remove all the excuses that someone could come up with as to why their business isn't building. And I think that that's very, I think that lightens the load for everybody, because when you get rid of the noise, when you can get rid of the noise in your head and you can get to really what it is that we do, you're all going to be very confident in your abilities to be able to build this business. But there's some stuff we got to go over. So a couple months ago, man, I think this is Julian or maybe Natasha. Maybe you guys can answer. Is this like the 5th month that I've done this, or 4th month? It's 4 or 5. It's something like that. It's been off on for the last like 6 or 7 months, maybe more. So it's got to be 5 months of doing this. So, you know, is it something like that, Julian? Somewhere in there? Something like that. So anyway, you guys, the reason I bring that up to you is this. Okay, yeah, Natasha's saying yeah. So we've gotten to know each other a little bit. And for those of you who don't know me, I'll just do this really quickly. My name is Dean. I live out here in Burbank, California. And as I mentioned, I've known Mr. Thomas for a really long time and have had the opportunity to do some trainings and some things in Vegas and kind of started a friendship. And a little less than a year ago, I guess it is, he asked if I would do a month of calls for him. And obviously, I guess they've gone reasonably well. And now it's been every other month for just under a year. So this is probably the 5th or 6th month that we've done this. So the only reason I share this with you, for those of you who've seen me train some stuff before, you just got to kind of be a little bit patient, because the message is always going to come full circle. For those of you who have seen me before, I'm really going to ask you guys to build on the things that we've talked about over the months that we've been together. But you could not be in better hands with Mr. Thomas. Financially, he doesn't really need to do this anymore. He does this because he has a sense of leadership and servant leadership and gratitude, and he wants to help you guys get to where he is. And that is the sure sign of a leader. There's a reason why he's a multiple Circle of Champions member so many times over and over and over again. So that being said, I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts for you all. So I hope you're all good. I hope you're all ready to take some notes. I hope everybody is safe, happy, healthy. If If you need to be 6 feet apart from everyone, I hope you're doing that. If you don't really care about being 6 feet apart from everyone, I hope you're doing that. If you need to be wearing masks, I hope you're doing that. If you don't really care about masks, I hope you're doing that. I'm hoping you're doing what you need to do to take care of yourselves and your family, right? I'm not mandating anybody do anything. Y'all are adults, right? Everybody's an adult here. Make your own decision. Do what's right for you, for your family and your kids. So isn't it funny? We've been put into a situation that none of us had a hand in at all. The shutdown, all this stuff. And this last year, 2020, I mean, what a transitional year, right? Like the world has had to transform and transition to making what we're doing on Zoom here the norm. So this is not extraordinary now. This is the norm. And it's really going to be a new norm, and it's never going to go back to the way it was. It's going to be in my opinion, it's going to be some sort of a hybrid version of it. Okay. It's going to be like a hybrid version. Like there'll be in-person meetings, but a lot more Zooms, and we're going to kind of weave these things together. But there's a blessing in disguise in this, a big one. And you as a leader need to be able to communicate things like this to your team, right? What happened in 2020 is actually going to allow us to be able to impact people, because anybody can take the time to learn how to get on a Zoom call like we're doing right now. Okay. Anybody can learn how to do this. So why am I setting the stage for you like this? Because if I'm going to get the message across to you that I'm about to give you, it is incredibly important for you as a leader or up and coming leader to embrace these changes and not resist them, to accept the changes and work with them, not resist them, because you're going to make ACN harder than it really is. Now, how many of you know, and I know a lot of you, right? How many of you know that we as human beings make things way harder than they really are? Yes or no? By the way, almost daily, right? Finish this. I want you guys to finish this sentence just in your head, right? Here goes. Ready? Here we go. If I only knew then what I know now. Oh my God. Oh my God. If I only knew then, I wouldn't even be in the position I'm in right now. If I only knew then, I'd already be a regional freaking director. If I only knew then, I would be a regional. If I only knew then what I know now. Welcome to being a human being. This is just the way life happens. But you as a responsible leader, once you learn something, here's your responsibility. Here's your responsibility to apply what you've learned. And what happens is a lot, and I've had conversations with Al about this. Hey, Al, I know this is my first call of the month, but how direct do I get to be today?
As always, very, please.
Okay. Look,
because I do it all the time. So
right,
it's good to have somebody else do it.
All right, good. So with your permission, Mr. Thomas, and everybody's permission, we're just going to start the month being extremely direct. And let me just tell you guys, there's a lot of people that go to the gym. They work out the same amount of time doing the exact same exercise over and over and over again. And they realize that they're not really changing how they look. Because even though their capabilities have increased, their exercise is not changing. So they might get in a little better shape, but they're not really going to see anything change because they're not doing what? They're not stretching themselves. They're not doing anything differently. You know, the idea would be like this, you guys, and not to use the silly gym example because a lot of leaders use it, but it actually is applicable. You know, if you're benching 100 pounds and a year later you're benching 100 pounds, I'm not exactly sure what you've been doing in there. Maybe it's a social thing for you. Like, I don't know what you're doing. You're telling me in a year, you couldn't go from 100 pounds to 120 pounds in a year? Like, it doesn't make any sense. How does that apply to ACN? here goes. If you're doing today what you were doing last month, what you were doing 3 months ago, what you were doing 5 months ago, if that is the case, I don't know what you're doing. Now, look, your business, our obligation as leaders, Mr. Thomas, myself, the other RDs, our obligation to you is to help advance your business. Right now, some of you are brand new, so this is not meant to sound like too much water in the glass. So I'm going to take a small step back to take a big step forward, but understand the purpose of me being with you guys for a month here. Okay. My purpose with you all is to do everything I can to advance your business. Now, for those of you who know me, I'm a big person on taking notes. So if you guys are out here, I'm just going to talk to you as leaders. Mr. Thomas gave me permission. If you guys are here listening to this information, I think that's great. But if you're committing it to memory, I think that's a mistake. I'm not even sure, I'm not even sure why you're on. I mean, I'm talking to you as leaders. Like, I would be taking notes. Like there, Jocelyn Driscoll, my great friend, regional vice president in up in Northern California. She takes notes, right? I have stacks of notes. In fact, I wrote down notes for you guys to take notes on. So I think what happens is this. We want to be in the business of building confidence. You know, I am confident in what we do because I have pages and pages and notebooks of notes from people like Mr. Thomas. So I can go back and read and reread. Okay. So here's the message. Are you ready? Okay. Jen said she's ready. Belinda, we good? Corey, Marie, Pat, we're good. Ishmael. Okay. Chris, cool. Got everybody's permission. All right, here we go. Here's the deal, you guys. You got to figure out, because the overwhelming majority of you are part-time. And by the way, you should. Hey, Chris, by the way, you should be part-time. So here's the message. How to be a part-time professional. How to be a part-time professional. Okay? And you can. The number one issue that anybody ever brings up when somebody brings AC to, I'm so busy. Dude, you understand how busy I am? I'm so busy. Oh my God, I got the kids, I got the business, I'm busy, right? Like, we get it. Everybody's busy. Here's what I found. The busier the person, the better they do in ACN. The busier they are, the better they do in ACN. So what I'm going to share with you guys now, you guys got to get this word for word. I mean, actually, you know what? You don't have to. Do it if you want. I don't care. I mean, I know I'm giving it to you. I know Al does. So that this is totally up to you. Jen's cracking up. I'm just telling you, I'm going to deliver this. You guys do with it what you want. My advice would be to write it down. Okay. That'd be my advice. So I'm going to read this to you because I wrote this specifically for this group. Okay. Here goes. Understand time management is directly proportional to your willingness to follow your coach's game plan and developing your skill set. So here goes. Understand time management is directly proportional to your willingness to follow your coach's game plan and developing your skill set. Okay? Understand time management is directly proportional to your willingness to follow your coach's game plan and developing your skill set. Now, let's break this down for a minute. Understand time management. Why are we talking about time management? Right? Because what is the number one issue that people come up with all the time? And by the way, the overwhelming majority of time, you guys, this whole time thing is an excuse. They don't know. They're afraid. I'm so busy. You don't understand. Putting another thing on my plate. We're trying to figure out school and work and COVID and all this stuff, right? All this stuff. Okay. Understand time management is what? Directly proportional to your what? Willingness to follow your coach's game plan. Let's talk about your coach's game plan. Okay. Think of the logic and the genius of this business. Do you guys agree with me that your coach wants you to win? Okay, that's step number one. Your coach wants you to win. Here's step number two. Is it in your coach's financial best interest for you to win? Yes or no? Why in the world would your coach give you bad advice? Why? There's no reason to. There's no reason your coach is going to ask you to do something that is not in your best interest. Your coach would be taking a pay cut. Your coach would be building an ineffective business. That doesn't make any sense. So when we talk about understanding time management is directly proportional to your willingness to follow your coach's game plan. Let me ask you this, you guys. Here goes. Do you think your coach wants you to succeed quickly, or does your coach want you to have success take a long time? Do they want it to be fast or slow? They want it fast. They want it fast. Why? Because if we get you fast results, if we get you fast success, what happens to your belief level? Goes up. What happens to your confidence? It goes up. Who are you going to talk to? Everyone. So when people take a step back and they go, God, why am I fighting my coach on getting an $80 ID seal service when I should have the service because it's one of our company's biggest services and it's going to promote me and I get to write off the cost? It doesn't make any sense. Hey, let's pool our money together. Let's pool all of our money together. There's 76 of us on this call. Let's pool our money together and let's go buy a 7-Eleven. Whatever, a couple $1,000,000. We get the franchise, we get the thing, we open up the 7-Eleven. Awesome. We've got the keys. We're opening up. The green and red and white sign is out in front of our 7-Eleven. And then we all get together with each other and go, hey, listen a minute, hold on a minute. We just spent $2 million on the 7-Eleven. We can't spend any more money. We're not putting anything in the store yet. And here's how people think about ACN. So now we've got our 7-Eleven, we've got the space, we've got the counter, and there's nothing in the store. Why? Because we don't want to spend any more money because we already spent $2 million on the actual place. So now check this out. Here's how people think of their ACN business. Here goes. Here's how they think of their ACN business. When there's a line of people waiting to get in, we'll go buy some stuff. When there's a line of people waiting to get into our 7-Eleven that has nothing in it, now we'll go buy some stuff because we already spent all this money. You guys know as well, by the way, you guys agree with me, that is insane. That business is never going to open. You are not open for business. So in our business, we need to get people, we need to open for business. Now, understand that time management is directly proportional to your willingness to follow your coach's game plan and underline, star, circle, and developing your skill set. Now look, developing is an action. That means it's going to take a little bit of time. It is a process. It's a process. So you as a leader or up and coming leader need to make sure that you're walking your brand new person through the process. Now here's the trick. Here's the trick to this. How do you walk them through the process without overwhelming them? You got to just listen to what they're going through. You have to let them know you have a game plan. I have one of my new business partners, one of my great friends, a guy I grew up with. He's a phenomenal guy. I'm not going to embarrass him, Joey. And anyway, so he's on the call. You guys, in 4 days, he's got 100 points and 5 business partners in his group. Don't tell me that people can't do this. Now, full disclosure. This is an important lesson, and I'm going to move on. full disclosure. He was in ACN years ago. And we have a level of trust and a friendship. And things happened in his life, and he had to stop doing the business for what was now amounted to years. But we got back together. And by the way, when we got together, it wasn't just ACN talk. It was life talk. It was catch me up talk. And then he saw the differences of where we are now versus where we were then. So you guys, this should be very encouraging to you, because you all have people that you've talked to 2 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. And all you need to do is be able to reach out to that person and be like, hey, Julian, man, I hope that you are good. You too, back and forth, a little bit of rapport, not tons, a little bit. Guys, I'm going to share something with you right now that you got to get this. If you're trying to recreate or reintroduce this to someone who knows you've been doing it, or maybe they did it with you back in the past, look, when you're reconnecting with them, you need to reconnect on a personal level enough, but don't connect on a personal level so much that they believe that the only reason you're going through all the personal stuff is to try to get them back in your business. That's not cool. That's not cool. This was very organic. This was very normal, right? It was blissfully normal. And by the way, you know who came to the realization that the time was right for him? He did, not me. He did. He's like, God, oh my God, the quarter percent's now all 4%. You can do everything over Zoom. I don't have to live in people's living rooms. No. Now, will that happen one day in the future? Yes, but does it have to? No, because you can do it over this. People's lives have changed. Things have changed. The question that you have to ask yourself, folks, are you going to be ready when that opportunity presents itself? And that's not on me. That's not on Al. That's on you. But how can we best prepare you to be ready for that? That's what these calls are about. Okay, cool. So everybody understand that statement. Understand that time management is directly proportional to your willingness to follow your coach's game plan and develop your skill set. Why do I say that? When your skill set develops in acquiring customers and presenting, learning how to use the online store, as your skill set develops, things that took longer now take shorter amounts of time. I'll give you an example. The same gentleman I just spoke about last night, we signed up his son on Flash Wireless, who's also a business partner. And he said, Dean, do you want me to do it, or do you want to be there? I said, look, I'd like to be a part of it. For the first few times, the entire process took 12 minutes. Why? Because I've done them 1,000 times. And now as I teach them how to do it, now we're getting into the business of duplication. Here's something I want you guys to write down. If you're not willing to spend the time with your partner, do not sign up your partner. That's not fair to them. That's not fair. You're going to sign them up and leave them to like, hey, go check out the website, go watch this, and you can do this. And if you need any help, let me know. That's not how to build a business. I guarantee you that's not how Al built his business. And you know why I can prove it to you? He does this call every single day, 9 a.m. with a guest speaker to come in and talk and train with you guys. He didn't have to do that. Is this making sense so far to anybody? Cool. So let me tell you guys this, and here comes a biggie. Maybe this is so here comes okay. A part-time professional understands the following. You do not get paid for your time. You get paid for your productivity. You do not get paid for your time. You get paid for your productivity. Now, for someone who's an entrepreneur, for somebody who is success driven, That should be the most reassuring thing that you could ever hear in this business. You do not get paid for your time. You get paid for your productivity. That levels the playing field. Everybody now can become productive, right? So what are the core elements of being productive in ACN? Here goes. Here goes. Right? You don't get paid for your time. You get paid for your productivity. What equals productivity in ACN? Personally getting a customer, helping someone get a customer, personally recruiting and presenting, or helping someone recruit and present. That's it. There you go. You on ACN? There it is. There it is. You do not get paid for your time. You get paid for your productivity. What accounts for productivity? Personally getting a customer, helping someone get a customer, personally recruiting and presenting, or helping someone recruit and present. That's it. You know, when I told you guys at the beginning of our talk today, I said, look, we make these things way more complicated than they really are. I mean, we really do. So when you understand to be a part-time professional, get good at getting some customers yourself and get good at helping other people get customers. What do you need to do? You know what? Learn the store. How about this? Master a couple services. Learn them all, but master a couple of them so you got that thing like the back of your hand. Okay? Personally getting customers, helping someone get a customer. Personally recruiting and presenting the business, or helping someone recruit and present the business. There you go. That's how to build a part-time business. You guys, we're going to take over the Midwest with this new group. I'm telling you right now, because we're going to teach this system so it remains part-time for everyone. You know, the old thing from that Jim Rohn CD is, you know, I'm working full-time at my job and part-time on my fortune, right? That was his thing. I'm working full-time at my job and part-time on my fortune. That's what he said. I've listened to that. By the way, just side note, total sidebar. If you guys have not downloaded or listened to Jim Rohn, Building Your Network Marketing Business, go find it. Jim Rohn, ROHN, Building Your Network Marketing Business. I have listened to this over 200 times. And by the way, that is real. That is not some number I'm throwing out to you guys. It's in my car. I've had it for over a decade, and it impacted my life in a big way, right? So I'm just letting you know, do with it what you want. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Jim Rohn, ROHN, Building Your Network Marketing Business. You can download it. It's easy to get. I think it's great in the car, by the way. It's awesome. You start to hear this stuff over and over. Now, so what do we need to do? We need to master a couple things. Now, look, you're not, and by the way, folks, look, you're not going to master this in a day. So please, for the love of all things good, and do not beat yourselves up, right? Do not beat yourselves up. You have to understand that there's a process here to learning, okay? And the leader is going to do it with you. That's why we're doing calls like this. But I want you guys to figure out a couple services that you're drawn to, that you like, and really master those things. So they are in your wheelhouse, man. Like you've got this. Going to build confidence. Here's the other one. Okay. So we're talking about customers and services. Learn a couple of them and master them. Know them all, but really master a couple of them. Okay. Here's the other one. Okay. Learn the presentation and practice it. You guys, let me tell you how simple this is. We have to read 8 slides. 8 slides. 8 freaking slides. That's it. Why would someone not take, look at Al. Why would someone, dude, you're making me laugh today. Why would someone not take the time? Oh man, I could go off on something right now. How are we doing on time? Okay.
Mr. Dean Tarrolly, Al Thomas, repeat that 2 more times so maybe they'll write it down and master writing it down. It's so freaking simple. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You guys, here's the thing. It's It's 8 slides, you guys. 8 slides.
Sir, I'm sorry, I got to butt in. Did you say just read it? You didn't say, you just said.
Read it. Just read it. You guys, read 8 slides. By the way, watch this. Let me help all of you. Let me help all of you, okay? I want you to read 8 slides, and here's what you can say to the person. If you have questions that I can't answer, I will get you in touch with the person that can. Now there's no pressure. You don't have to pay. Look, all right, you know what? That's a great question. I don't have the answer to that. Let's, I'll set up a time where I can introduce you to, Mr. Julian Lewis, Miss Natasha Ismail, Mr. Al Thomas. I'll set up a time where I can introduce you to them. They will be able to answer your question. Now, you know what? Here's, you guys, you know why more people don't present? You know why more people don't present? They don't present because they're afraid they're going to look silly. Because they're going to start talking about something that they don't have the answers to. Let me help all of you with that. If you let them know that if you can't answer a question, if they have information that you don't have the answer on, you'll get it. Done. Conversation's over. Hey, Mr. Thomas, that's Al, thank you so much. That's a great question. I'm working with a gentleman who's a VP in the company. I will absolutely make sure we get that question answered. Done. So you guys, your job is simply to read the 8 slides. And when you start to do that, people are going, here's what you look. Al, you got to tell me when to stop. So look, here goes. Watch this, you guys. Let me help everyone here. Then this should be exciting for all of you. Here goes. Okay. After people see a presentation, after they see the explanation, in fact, forget the word presentation. I don't even like that word. The explanation. After people see the explanation of what it is that we're doing, check this out, right? Have you ever heard this? Okay, you guys, you got to focus on me. Please get this so I can get it out of my head. Here goes. Have you ever had this happen? You explain the business or your leader explains the business and here's what someone says, right? Here goes. They look at you and go like this. Hey, man, this is great. It's a lot of information. It's a lot to take in. Who's heard that? Okay, who's heard this? Same presentation, by the way. Same presentation. Who's heard this? Hey, man, that's great. Kind of needs some more information. So wait a minute. The first guy said it was a ton of information, and the guy right freaking behind him said, I need more information. And it's the same presentation. Give me a break. Like, God, I had that happen so many times in Sherman Oaks in person at our office. Hey, man, this is really great. I'm think I could do this. Like, it's a lot to take in, a lot of information. I'm kind of sifting through it, kind of sorting through it. Well, are you open to another conversation? Well, yeah, I'm open to another conversation. It's just a lot. It's a lot to take in. And the guy right freaking behind him goes, hey, man, so what'd you think of this? Oh, man, I think it's great, but here's the thing is like, I kind of need some more information. Like I need more to like really kind of chew on here to like really get this thing. Really? Because you should talk to the guy who was standing right freaking in front of you because he said it was too much information. And now you're saying it's not enough information. What's the message that I'm giving you guys? Just read the slides. They're going to either want more information or not. And don't worry about it. Just make sure that you're good at promoting the next event for them to get that information. Now, that event could be a 2-on-1 call with your leader. That event could be a 2-on-1 Zoom, which I highly recommend with your leader. Let's get your questions answered. How do you get him the phone? How do you get that person on the phone or a Zoom with your leader? Here's exactly how to do it. He's got the answers. She's got the answers. Wait till you hear. I introduce you to Jocelyn Driscoll. If I can carve out a window of time with her, you and I will get your questions answered. But oh my gosh, she's built unbelievable teams. She's done phenomenal things. I cannot wait. You two meet, sparks are going to fly, I'm telling you, but we'll get your questions answered. Does that make sense? You guys, stop trying to look. Greg Provenzano said this a long time ago. Stop trying to get this thing perfect. Just go muck it up. By the way, make sure you say an M, not an F, right? Just go muck it up. Just go in there and mess it up. Just go present. Who cares? This is a business of exposures. Personally getting customers, helping someone get a customer. Personally presenting the business, helping someone explain the business. Now watch this, you guys. Here's the thing. Okay, look, you could explain this to someone and it would go like this, right? Let's watch this. Just, you guys, are y'all with me? Are you with me? Okay, cool. So you could explain the business and be like this: perfect, eloquent, on point, factual, data, and you finish your presentation. It's like, the global expansion of our company, dealing with the deregulation of gas and electricity and essential services, not only here but around the world. Warren Buffett said that the deregulation of electricity is going to be the largest shift of wealth in history. We've partnered with multi-billion-dollar companies that saw value in us bringing them customers, and we can build a solid business from home. We can build a team. And the person looks and goes, nah, sounds like a pyramid. Nah, not interested. And then the other person that you present to could go like this or explain. You go, well, it kind of looks like this, but it's really not. We build a team. We recruit people. We sign people up on customers on essential services. And that guy looks at you and goes, dude, I've been looking for something like that. Sign me up. I don't need to see anything. Sign me up. Right? So the point is this. You just don't know who they are or where they are or what they've been through. So what's your obligation? Represent the company and the opportunity with integrity, with character. Explain the business. Here's the deal. So you can sort through people. You want to be a part-time professional? Here's my last point of the day. All right. For today. Okay. Sort through people and do it quickly. That does not mean use people. That means sort. Red, green, rotten apple. You're open 80% of your time with the red apple people, the positive, open-minded people. 20% of your time with the question askers, the green apple people. That, according to my math, and I didn't do that great in math, but I'm okay, 80% with the reds, 20% with the greens. That leaves somewhere in the neighborhood of 0% with the rotten apple people. So why in the freaking world are you spending time trying to convince the rotten apple that this is great? That is nuts. You cannot pull a rotten apple out of a barrel, look at it and go, come on, man, pull yourself together. You can be red. Like, you can't do that. Let that rotten apple go. And it doesn't mean they're a rotten person. Some of those rotten apples are going to share your last name. Some of you might be kissing a rotten apple goodnight. Here's my advice. Make it quick. Good night. I'm done. I'm not talking to you anymore. Talk to you tomorrow over coffee. That's it, right? Now, I make that point and I want to have some fun with you guys. Here's why. They're just people. Serious note that will help your business. I want you to be emotionally detached from people's responses. I want you to become emotionally detached from people's responses. Some will, some wait, some won't. So what? Next. How do you become a part-time professional? Understand it's a numbers game. Understand your coach has your best interest at heart. Understand becoming a part-time professional is an understanding and acceptance that you're not getting paid based on your time. You're getting paid based on your productivity. How do we help you become more productive? Let's get good at getting customers, helping people get customers. Let's get good at presenting and sharing the business, and let's get good at helping people explain the business. Become emotionally detached and master a couple services on the presentation. You do those things from the notes today and understand there's going to be a learning curve to doing it. But if you're willing and you do this learning curve, you will fit this in part-time plan B on the side around everything you have going on in your life. Faith, family, work, businesses, COVID, everything. You give me someone who becomes a part-time professional 10 hours a week. I'm telling you in a year or less, they're a regional director. And I'm telling you in 3 years or less, if they choose to, they're a regional vice president. When you guys realize that the only thing that's holding you back from getting to the next position that you want in your business is you. The best news about that is that's the one thing you can change. So the question is, what story are you going to make? We're excited to be a part of it. Al's excited to be a part of it. I'm excited to maybe, hopefully, do a little something to try to help you guys with your story. But you just have to decide what story you're making. I do presentations every week. You know, for those of you who know the days that I do presentations, if you want them, I'll get it to Al, whatever. Overviews, explanations. Yeah, let's make you a story if you want a story made. Mr.